Welcome back, guys. In lesson 2, I will teach you how to insert into a database table, update existing records in a database table, and delete data from a database table. Join me as I pull up SQL Server Management Studio to run this with you. Welcome back, guys. In lesson 2, I will teach you how to insert into. Hey guys, welcome back. In this lesson, I'll teach you how to insert into a database table, delete from a database table, and update a database table record. Okay, we already have 3 tables in the Fruit Business Limited database: customers, product, and sales table. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to use the customers table to demonstrate this. First, to start with, let's select into the customer table to see if we've got any records there. Select star from customers. Okay, let's run this to see if we have any values. Okay, we have 10 records in the customer table, 10 customers. So we're going to insert more customers into the customer table. And how to go about that, I will simply write the syntax here. To insert into a customer table, we simply follow this syntax: insert into table name, bracket open, column 1 separated by comma, column 2 separated by comma, column 3, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is the syntax. Then next line, we indicate the values. Insert into table name, column 1, column 2, all in brackets separated by commas. Then values, open bracket, close. Then value 1, comma, value 2, comma, value 3, and so on and so forth. So where value equals 1, you don't need to enclose in quotation mark. You just leave the figure the way it is. Where value is text, you enclose with quotation mark. Okay, so now looking at this syntax, we're going to apply this syntax to insert into the customers table. Okay, now we're inserting into customers table. So what we do now is, this is insert, not insert. Okay, that's an error. So now we're going to insert into customers table. Insert into customers. Okay, customers is the name of the table, bracket open and close. The columns, we list out the columns. We have ID, name, country, active, date, time. So we have ID, comma, name, comma, country, comma, date, time. Okay, now values, open and close bracket. We'll add all the values now. So we are looking at the last ID here is 10, so the next will be 11. We are not using quotation on 11 because it's an integer value, and the data type for that column is integer. Okay, so the next is the name. So we're going to use a name enclosed in quotation mark because it's a string, it's a text value. Okay, we enclose that, and that name can be anything: John, Mega. Okay, comma, what's the next field? Country. From which country is that? Okay, let's say Canada. Okay, Canada is enclosed in quotation mark because it's a string. Then active could be 0 or 1. For the fact that it's a numeric value, we're not going to enclose it in quotation mark, so we'll just leave it as 1. It's a 1 or 0, so I'm going to add 1 there, comma. Then date time, I'm not going to add the full date value there. In SQL, there's a function, inbuilt function, that helps you get the current date time value, which is the function is actually get date, close, open and close bracket. So this is a function used to get current date. So I'm going to copy this and use it here instead of typing raw date value. Okay, so we have this. Let me run this now and see if this works. Execute. There's an error. There are fewer columns in the insert statement than values specified in the values clause. Okay, so here we have fewer numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4 is less than this, so something is not matching up correctly here. In our, let's run our customers table query again and see what we got. We have ID, name, country, active, date, time. ID, name, country, active. Oh yeah, we didn't add active here. Active, comma. Okay, so which match with this figure here? Let's run this now and see what we've got. Execute. Okay, one row affected successfully. So let's go back to customers and run customers again and see if that entry is available there. Execute. Okay, yeah, we have the 11th row, which is John Mega, is already added. So what if we also want to add multiple entries here without just adding one entry every time and execute? What we can do here is you just duplicate this and use comma to separate it. Okay, let's add these 3 entries straight up. Here the last entry record number here is 11, so let's make this 12, let's make this 13, let's make this 14. Okay, let's change this name and say, okay, Mugabe is the customer in Zimbabwe. Greg Richard is in UK, United Kingdom. Okay. Oluwasegun Michael is in Nigeria. Okay, so let's run this and see what we've got. Let me change this to 0. No, change this to 0. Okay, 0. I will run this now and see what happens. Okay, 3 rows affected. Let's go back to customer query and run it and see if those 3 entries are present in the customers table. Execute. Now we initially had 11, now we have 14, so these 3 entries were added successfully. Okay, so this is how to insert into a database table. So now I'm going to show you how to delete from a database table. So join me. Hey guys, welcome back. In this lesson I'll teach you how to insert into a database table, delete from a database table, and update a database table record. Okay, we already have 3 tables in the Fruit Business Limited database: customers, product, and sales table. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to use the customers table to demonstrate this. First, to start with, let's select into the customer table to see if we've got any records there. Select star from customers. Okay, let's run this to see if we have any values. Okay, we have 10 records in the customer table, 10 customers. So we're going to insert more customers into the customer table. And how to go about that, I will simply write the syntax here. To insert into a customer table, we simply follow this syntax: insert into table name, bracket open, column 1 separated by comma, column 2 separated by comma, column 3, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is the syntax. Then next line, we indicate the values. Insert into table name, column 1, column 2, all in brackets separated by commas, then values, open bracket, close. Welcome back, guys. So deleting from a database table record is a straightforward thing. Here we have the syntax for deleting from a database table. So to delete from a database table, we simply type the delete command: delete from table name. Okay, table name where where column equals value. Okay, so this is just a straightforward syntax for deleting from a table. If there's a condition, then we have to use the where clause, but if there's no condition, yes, there's always a condition, so we have to indicate the where clause, you know, to show what sort of condition we want to apply during deletion. Okay, so I will just go straight forward to, so we're going to delete from the customer table. Remember, we initially added some customers to the table. So what I'm going to do now is delete from customer, delete from customers where certain conditions are actually met. So what conditions are we looking at? Let's take a look at the customer table record. We have ID, name, country, active, date, time. Okay, let's delete from this customer table where the name is John Mark, where name, that's the column itself, equals John Mark. But John Mark, the name field is a text field, so I'm going to enclose in quotation mark. So John Mark. Okay, delete from customer table where column equals this. Let's run this. There is John Mark here. This is John Mark, which has ID of 7. So let's delete and see what we've got. Execute. One role affected. So let's go back and run the customers table query. Execute. There is no more John Mark here, so that entry has been deleted. So we have 8, we have 6, 8. So there's no more 7th column with ID of 7. Okay, so that is gone. So delete from customers where name equals John. Let's try something else again. Delete from customers where ID, that's the ID column, equal, no, we have tried equals, let's say greater than number, ID number, let's say greater than 9. Okay, let's exclude 9 from it. So greater than or equals to, 9. Delete from customers where ID greater than or equals to 9. So that means ID numbers from 9 upwards will be disappeared, be thrown away. And let's see, execute. 6 rows affected. So let's go back and run the customer query, select star from customers and see what records we have left. So we have customer record from ID 1 to 8. Customer record from ID 9 upwards have been deleted. Okay, so it's a straightforward thing. Delete from customers where ID greater than or equal to 9. So the where condition can accommodate anything. You can also use, in addition to that condition, you can add and whatever condition you want to apply, where ID equals this, where country equals this, you know, and so on and so forth. Here you can say, okay, where ID less than 2 and country equals United States. Okay, so the country column is a text column, so we enclose with quotation mark, and that's it, a straightforward thing. So the syntax is you delete from customer table, then apply a condition using the where clause. You impute the condition here. You can add as many conditions as possible, separating them using the and command, and that's it. Okay, let's move on to updates. I'll show you how to update customer tables. Join me. Welcome back, guys. Now we're going to be looking at how to update a database table record. Okay, the syntax is update table name. We have to use the where condition, where clause, where, no, sorry. What next is update table name. Set, we have to set the value of the column that we are updating. Set column name equals value. where conditions. Okay, update table name set column equals this where conditions. Okay, so we have to use the update set. The set command is to assign a value to the column, and the where clause is actually to specify which of the columns that needs to be updated. Okay, so let's run something. Update customer. We are updating the customers table now. Set. So what are we changing? We are changing the value. We are changing country. We are replacing country with something else. Set country equals, anywhere we find United States. No, set country equals anywhere we find United States here. We're going to change it to Mexico. Okay, set country equals Mexico. Okay, we want to change we want to change value in this field to Mexico, where we have to apply a where condition to know where this will happen. Where country, no, okay, where name equals Susan Elembe, where name equals Susan Elembe. Okay, so what we are trying to do here now is we're trying to change Susan's country. Okay, Susan is from South Africa. So what we have instructed the engine to do is to update the customers table and set country to Mexico, where the name equals Susan Elembe. So let's run this and see the result of it. Execute. One role affected. So we are going to run the customer table query and let's see what we've got. Execute. Come down. So Susan's country is now changed to Mexico, as you can see here. It's now changed to Mexico. Okay, so now let's say we want to update let's look at the active. Let's say for instance we want to deactivate a customer here. This customer Barack Obama, we want to deactivate him, and so we want to change his status here, his active status to 0. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to use a condition, and that condition can be applied to any of ID, name, country, just for us to be able to update this figure. So we're going to try something, and what we're going to do is update customer table, customers. Okay, set status state active equals 0, where we can say, okay, where ID. Okay, we're going to change the status of Barack Obama. We can say where name or where name or where ID, but this time let's try where ID. Where ID equals 6. This is 6. Barack Obama's ID here is 6, equals 6. Let's run this and see what we've got. Execute. One role affected. We come back, run the select star from customers, execute. Okay, the active status for Barack Obama here is changed. So now this goes to show you how to update a database table record. So we can go on and on and on and on and apply some more conditions here and say and so on and so forth. It's a straightforward thing. Okay, welcome back, guys. Now we're going to be looking at how to update a database table record. Okay, the syntax is update table name. We have to use the where condition, where clause, what next is update table name. Set, we have to set the value of the column that we are updating. Set column name equals value, where conditions. Okay, update table name set column equals this where conditions. Okay, so we have to use the update set. The set command is to assign a value to the column, and the where clause is actually to specify which of the columns that needs to be updated. Okay, so let's run something. Update customer. We are updating the customers table now. Set. So what are we changing? We are changing the value. We are changing